everybody. Welcome to the Southern Illinoisan Prep Basketball Talk. I'm Scott Meese along with Les Winkler and Pete Spittler. We're going to wrap up the midwinter tournaments. Les, what did you think about what all went down? I know you got to see Murphy took the crown again over at Sparta.
Yeah, that was Murphy actually overcame a lot of adversity. Pierre House has hobbled quite a bit. In the last two games, you could tell he obviously wasn't on the top of his game. He was really restricted in terms of taking the ball to the basket and resorted a lot to shooting three-pointers, which he made a lot of them. And they're also without Drew Navarra, who injured his second shoulder. You know, the Red Devils just play good basketball, good team defense. They managed to make big buckets when it counted and got some big stops. They almost gagged on it in the championship game, missing a bunch of free throws down the stretch. But this is a team that just finds a way to win tight games. So it's kind of enjoyable to watch.
Did I see right? They're 16-5.
Yeah, that's it's kind of amazing actually, because they
lost basically everybody, right, except for Pierre House.
And when you watch them, they're not that kind of team that you walk away and say, "Wow, those guys are good." They just play good, solid team game. They're kind of they're better than the sum total of their parts, I guess. But I thought the interesting story was Pinckneyville winning the Benton tournament for the 8th straight time,
yeah,
and the way they had to do it.
Yeah, I mean they really struggled on Saturday, the final day, where you play twice. I think overtime against Hamilton County. I don't believe Hamilton County won a game at that tournament, and then the evening session, I believe they only beat Cesar by a point, but they won, I don't know, 45 or something.
It's crazy, the record, but
games in a row there. It
was really amazing the way they had to struggle to keep the record going. Like you said, they didn't play the stronger teams on Saturday. Well, Cesar Valier's having a nice year, but as you mentioned, Hamilton County's struggling a little bit. But still, managed to find good teams find a way to win.
And then Harrisburg loses to Albany in the championship. So Harrisburg now is 4 losses?
I think it's 4.
They're having trouble beating the really good teams, apparently. Not by much, usually, except for Central, but they're just having trouble with that. So you wonder how deep of a run they can make this year. I mean, they're talented, obviously.
They're talented, but they lack depth. I mean, if the wrong people get in foul trouble, they can struggle at times because it's just not a really deep bench.
Nashville girls in one of the best tournaments in the state up at Highland finished second. Most of the other teams in this area would have possibly gone winless if they'd been in that Highland tournament.
And that tournament was absolutely loaded. I mean, Nashville obviously had to get past a stingy Carlisle team, end up facing then undefeated Breeze Mater Day. They beat them convincingly, and then they got to play a 4A team in Edwardsville, which was undefeated as well. They were ranked 3rd in Class 4A. It didn't turn out well for them, but still, to come out runner-up at a tournament of that caliber is huge. Nashville has yet to lose to anyone in their class, and honestly, there's been a lot of people who really like their chances moving forward.
Other local girls, Vienna, Goreville, Hamilton County, nobody was much of a match for Mount Carmel up at El Dorado. I know Goreville didn't end up playing them, but Vienna, I think, has lost 3 in a row, and they've got a real good starting 5, but they're just starting to rack up some losses here.
Vienna played very well against Mount Carmel. They got the game was within 3 points with about 7 minutes to go. It looked like they had the momentum, but then all of a sudden Tyra Buss just ran over them, and she scored. Carly Childers hit a 3 to cut the lead to 3, and then Buss answered with a 3. Vienna made 2 turnovers that ended up in 2 layups by Buss, and game over.
And the Carbondale girls are having a nice season. They won their own tournament with some. Maybe not necessarily the most talented of bigger schools, but still some other big schools in that. What did you think about what went on there? I know DuQuoin's a good team, but maybe not quite at the level of some of the competition there.
I mean, winning their own tournament is a huge deal at this point in time. They're 14-7. You know, they got McKenna Miller. She is a great player. And really what a lot of these midwinters are designed to do are just get teams used to playing not only different types of competition, but just kind of playing games in a row, getting ready for regionals, because obviously that's what the whole thing is about, because regionals start in 2 weeks. And Carbondale might be able to make some noise here in the postseason. I like the way they play. I saw them against Murfreesboro. They like to play a real high-speed style offense. I believe Coach Jenkins called it a 100-mile-per-hour offense, but I like what I've seen so far out of them.
And finally, wrapping things up at the Nashville Invitational, back on the boys' side. Is anybody going to beat Breeze Central down here, or are they going to probably go to state?
I don't. Central's very good. Brandon Book is one of the best basketball players in the state. He's surrounded by kids who are quick, who play good, solid defense. Central beat Mater Dei in the championship game, and they had really thumped them earlier in the year. I haven't really read anything about that game. It was a very low-scoring game, something like 31-23 or something. I'm just assuming that Mater Dei took the air out of the ball a little bit, but. To beat Central, you've got to control Book. You can't let the Central's guards force you into speeding up your game, because that's really what they're capable of doing. The Grapperhouse kid and the Timmerman kid specifically, but Central plays such good defense too. You know, Stan Eagleson has had great defensive teams up there for 20+ years, and that's really, I think, the rock that the Central team is built on, that good, solid defense.
All right, that about wraps it up. A pretty good week of midwinter tournaments, I think.
Good.
So join us back here next week.